Hey there, everyone. Whoa.
Whoa, yeah.
Whoa.
Oh,
Whoa.
neat.
This not doing. Are we good?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Cool.
That sounded
Hey,
crazy, yeah.
weird.
The echo effect. I'm like,
Yeah.
is that because the door's open?
That was weird.
Spooky.
So, welcome everyone to another episode of Hunt for the Paranormal podcast,
Hey, guys.
where we talk about all sorts of crazy stuff. We've been
Yeah,
out
from
there.
paranormal, supernatural,
What are
and
some of the things we covered? The Wendigo,
the Jersey Devil,
Jersey Devil, Mothman,
Deer Woman.
Deer Woman,
Our personal
Wendigo.
stories.
Chinese wedding.
Oh, yeah, cursed objects.
Yeah, a bunch of cursed objects, which are fun. And today is a special little one because I like talking about this stuff.
I do too.
Yeah.
So I like messing with it, but I like talking about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of what started me to get into all the mythology. Seeing all these like things in the movies and then actually learning the things behind them led to what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
The demons.
And for you guys who don't know, I am Jose.
I'm Mike.
Aaron.
Yeah. And we are your paranormal people, I guess you can say. we like talking about this stuff.
We are the paranormies.
Yeah. The paranormies. We're paranormals. And today's episode is about demons. It's about pretty much the legend of demons, how it started.
And
what
other
thing-
cultures.
Yeah, other cultures, how they incorporate with them, and pretty much how we all kind of semi-believed or don't believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll start off with a little story here. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's listed as true. It's called the Night Demon. When I was 12 years old, we lived in a really old house. It was at least 200 years old, and there were rumors that it was haunted. One night, as I was lying in bed, my mother came into my room. At least I thought it was my mother. The room was dark, and the only light was coming from the hallway. Instead of saying goodnight, she started to tell me a weird and disturbing story about how a demon once came to a 12-year-old girl. She said the demon came at night, crawled up next to the girl, and began growling in her left ear. She told me the girl said the Lord's Prayer over and over, and the demon eventually went away. I remember just lying there, looking at her and wondering why she was telling me this story, especially right before I went to sleep. She was really freaking me out. Eventually, she finished the story and just got up and left without saying anything more. I lay there in the darkness trying to figure out why my mom would say those things. I tried to put it out of my mind and concentrate on getting comfortable and falling asleep. All of a sudden, I heard the most awful noise I've ever heard in my life. It was in my left ear. I couldn't tell if the sound was human or an animal. It was a guttural, grating, growling, scratching, screeching, moaning sound that left me terrified. I was too scared to move, and I was too scared to breathe. I was paralyzed by fear. I wanted to scream, but I was afraid of what might happen if I did. At that moment, I thought of the Lord's Prayer and started reciting it in my head. I was too terrified to say anything aloud. The growling continued for what felt like an eternity. Then suddenly it stopped. I lay there listening for any other sounds, but all I could hear was an eerie silence. I lay awake at night until the sun came up. The next morning, I asked my mother about the story she had told me. She claimed that she never knew anything about it. She said that she never came into the room the previous night. What she said scared me even more than the growling itself. It wasn't me, she protested. Why would I tell you such a horrible story? Why would I scare you like that at bedtime? To this day, I still cannot come up with an explanation. I believe whoever or whatever it was that came into my room that night, it was not my mother. I think it was her doppelganger, or a protective spirit in disguise as her, trying to warn me of what was about to happen, trying to tell me how to save myself from the demon that was about to come for me. Yeah.
Damn.
The end.
Yeah, it could be true.
Yeah.
Well, there seemed to have like a little bit of like sleep paralysis in there.
Yeah.
Like if she was paralyzed, and then kind of doppelgangers, that usually is a warning of death.
Is it?
So that's what I've heard. Like if you see yourself, but that's the thing. She didn't see herself. She saw her mother. Like if you see your own doppelganger, supposedly like that's a sign of death.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah, but it kind of took a form that she would find comfortable.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why, because why would it like tell her how to beat it? You know?
Yeah. I don't know if I see my doppelganger, it'd be better be to like the battle to the death.
I don't know. That,
It better be like.
I've also heard that if you did see your exact self in person, you wouldn't recognize them because what you perceive, what you look like, even in the mirror, is still completely different from what other people see.
That's true.
Yeah, that's just something I heard. But
You're hideous.
All right.
imagine you see yourself, you're like, man, that is one ugly guy. Like, who is that? I'm like, ugh. All of a sudden, like, dude, that guy looks just like you. Well, thanks.
I'm pretty sure that's happened a few times.
Oh, yeah.
God damn.
But so pretty much, here's a quick little description of like what demons are, and pretty much a short little.
Or what they consider.
Yeah, what they consider like origins and all this stuff. It's a demon is a supernatural, often malevolent being, prevalent in religion, occultism, literature, fiction, mythology, and folklore. The original Greek word daimon does not carry the negative connotation initially understood by implementation of the what is that word? The coin, Koine.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, coin or dominion, and later ascribed to any cognate words sharing the root. So in ancient Near Eastern religions, as well as in the Abrahamic traditions, including ancient and medieval Christian demonology. God, I cannot read today. A demon is considered an unclean spirit, a fallen angel, or a spirit of unknown type which may cause demonic possession, calling for an exorcism in Western occultism and Renaissance magic, which grew out of an amalgamation of Greco-Roman magic, Jewish Gada, and Christian demonology. God, what the hell? Demonology. A demon is believed to be a spiritual entity that may be conjured and controlled. Can it be controlled, or is it that
Yeah, well,
pretty much kind of about like Satanists and stuff like that?
Not
necessarily. Satanists kind of believe in nature over that kind of aspect. They don't really. They're Satanists are not necessarily worshiping Satan.
Kind of like
so.
a necromancer.
Yeah, but that
I
could
guess
be
that makes
anything because
sense.
when you call them in, essentially, from what I've studied and what I heard, when you're conjuring these kind of things, the fact that you have the power to do so, they assume that you are the creator, in a sense. So like in the self, or like what they say in like becoming a living God, that God imbued us with this power. So if they don't even know who God is. It's kind of like in that movie with Kevin Smith, Dharma, like where God's missing.
Yeah.
And I kind of think that's kind of good because it gives them the aspect of faith as well. So I can see it being like probable.
So I don't know. That's really interesting that they can actually be controlled, which
Yeah,
is also
so they
frightening
take it
too,
as, like-
because that means people can send them to go do messed up things to other people.
Well, yeah, but yeah, but that
It's-
essentially
it's-
can happen.
It's weird. Oh, there we go. I
But
don't
when-
even think I was really like on the last one. I don't know.
I could hear you, so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But essentially, when you do call them, they see you as the creator. If they assume you have the power to do that and control them, then yeah, but that's when you have to actually keep up that perception. If you doubt yourself and you start doubting yourself more and more in front of them and like giving in and acting bitter, and so that's when they start to realize that you're not what they think you are.
And
Like
that's
you
when
were.
they take control.
Exactly. Or that's when you give up control, because with the idea of like what we were going to talk about, possession, anytime you use the Ouija board or let's say shuffling cards, it can even be just normal playing cards or anything like that, you're inviting it in to use your hands as a vessel. When you use dowsing rods, the spirit helps you move to actually speak to you. So in a way, you are being possessed. You're giving up a little bit of control. But in like The Exorcist and a lot of those movies, it's when the person being possessed gives up that idea that they're not in control.
Yeah.
And that's when they take control. And the more and more they, kind of like a cult leader in a so they
Yeah.
keep you beaten down to think that you can't leave, that you don't have the power to do it.
So necessarily, do you think someone has to use the actual Ouija board, or can they make their own? Like actually write down the letters
If
on
you
the thing.
make your own, that's essentially what these are. He
Yeah.
made these to protect us and to,
Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
for blessings.
Yeah.
When you make something like that, that's a part of the ritual in itself.
Yeah. And
You're putting the
real-
purpose, and like we talked about the cursed objects last
Yeah.
week. So by doing that, you're making the Ouija board. You're already
There.
building your mind to connect.
Yeah.
And for the listeners who aren't watching it on YouTube and stuff, Mike, can you explain what we have around our necks right now?
Yes, you guys have pretty much. Yeah, no. Anyways, they're pretty much.
sounds lovely.
You're right. I went blank for a moment. My bad. So pretty much, you guys have pretty much Native American medicine pouches.
Mm-hmm.
So like, Aaron, he has some ghost beads. Also, you have some ghost beads on yours, but also a quartz crystal, pretty much for energy protection. And within the inside, both of yours has sweetgrass for protection. I'm gonna say basil. We're making a turkey now. Freaking,
A little bit of oregano.
Yeah, right. Some sage.
Paprika.
Right. So you guys both have sage for both for protection and for blessings. On Jose's pouch, he has an elk's tooth, a deer bone bead on the center as well, and some ghost beads as well.
And what does the deer bone piece represent or do?
Just another form, another protection.
More protection.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much. And then same thing with your guys with the ghost beads, more on the southwestern natives, like the Navajo and stuff like that. They believe with the ghost beads made out of the charupa trees, so more protection and stuff like
Gotcha.
that.
Nice.
Thanks.
Thank you
Thanks for the
again.
No
protection.
problem. Hey, you say you like going there without nothing, so
Well, yeah. So every investigation, we are taking these.
yeah. So I got my own
Take it.
too. So.
And I got a feather at home I usually use to sage or like cleanse people. So I'll
Yeah.
wear this while I'm doing
I
that.
use
Sweet.
feathers
It's just
for
another
other things.
thing.
Yeah, yeah.
BDSM.
No pens.
Ah.
Quill. No. But yeah.
Tickle finish.
but yeah. So we got our stuff to protect ourselves against things. Hopefully they help against demons. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
And also
don't,
he's
but-
working on too, if you guys are out there having trouble or issues or need some protection, he can make one for you.
Oh yeah, just let me know. We can totally help you guys out with that.
Yeah.
I have no problem helping people.
Just let us know. You can always contact us in so many different formats nowadays.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know, demons are fucking ridiculous, man.
Oh, it's weird, cool.
They're a thing that I don't think I really want to mess with, but I tend to like be kind of careless when it comes to them at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, how do you look at a demon and define that in your perspective, like everything that you believe or grew up, or like how do you vision that?
I grew up being Catholic until the age of 14 because that's when I started just kind of moving away from the church. So my basic thought of what a demon is pretty much one of Satan's fucking main boys. Like, hey man, go fuck some shit up, and
Yeah.
they'll go and do their damage. They'll try to mess. And what I grew up learning in the Catholic Church is that most of the time they will try to affect people who are the truest of believers in God, to try to turn them into non-believers, just to kind of show like, hey, see, it doesn't matter, we got your most faithful person to start doing all this evil stuff in the name of Satan, whether they're willing or not willing.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that. Like just the reason why the movie The Exorcist, why they had, because I think I watched a video on YouTube where it showed all the most haunted sets, and it's like anytime, like when they did even Passion of the Christ, The Exorcist, it's like when you bring light to these kind of things, they don't want that. Like I think if there is a Satan or like a force of darkness that's out there to get you, the best thing that they could do is make you believe that they don't exist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and which I think that could be true.
Right. Well, then what do you have to fear? And then you just go off the rails.
Yeah, you go, because that's what it shows, that most people end up when they really let it affect them and they don't search out any kind of help. That's when it really starts going awry for them, because then they start doing things that they would never do.
Yep.
They start just lashing out at people when it's just not unlike them, or they would just start actually causing harm to people or themselves, and it just takes a turn for the worse. And
Yeah, but the way I look at that with, it's like, with the idea of Satan, it's the tempter.
yeah,
So like, he doesn't like if it's not within you to do it yourself, then there's no temptation.
Yeah.
So he's just like appealing to you that inner basis in you, and then you're just acting on that inner, just monkey brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you don't care, you don't give a fuck, and you just stomp on the next person next to you. But then you're just giving in to those inner urges they usually fight against.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, I think I might be possessed.
Nah, I usually have that. I got a like huge anger problem growing up, and I've gotten a great hold on it now. But
Oh, same here.
when I did my first ceremonies, it like in a vision within the ceremonies, and it was not the first time. It kept coming to me as this. It's like a black leech that like focuses on the left foot. And then when I was with these shamans, like we were working it all out and just getting rid of it. We used tobacco in the ceremony, like liquid tobacco, and snorted it up one nostril to get rid of, and then to bring in the good.
Yeah.
And then at one point when we were just like working it out and just the mantra, my foot started cramping, the left foot. And then like one of the shamans came in, he's like, I was just trying to like stretch the foot out and like try to get it out, and I just thought it was a cramp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you gotta work it, like focus on it. And he had me like start rubbing into it. He gave me like the what's the cleansing water?
Holy water?
No, I think Florida water. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Florida water is like a spiritual like thing that helps you. Like, and he had me rub it on my hands and clap 3 times for the Trinity.
Yeah.
And then you do that, you focus on it, and then rub it out.
Yeah.
But he said, this is connected to your upbringing. This is connected. This is maternal, something from your father or your father's life, and it's just connected and continuing through. So yeah, I think it's like an anger demon or a leech, small level kind of thing that been feeding on our family for a while. Because I've seen other people that give in to the anger.
Yeah.
And it's there.
Yeah, because it's so much easier to do negative things than it is to do the right thing.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was
so
crazy
much
too.
easier.
The second time I did a ceremony to get rid of it, like I gave my father a chance to come back in my life, and that moment, like as we just finished the ceremony and went to the next little learning class, and he sent me a text all pissed off, like out of nowhere, misunderstanding a text I sent before, had nothing to do with anything, but just he gave into it and just started like lashing out at me, and it just felt like, what if this thing just panicked because it's losing one of its like food sources, and boom,
It's like, son of a bitch.
yeah, because then out of nowhere, like he just came at me with such rage. And I'm like, you talk about Jesus all the time. You go 3 times a week to church, and like the first thing you did was just like lash out at me over a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Which brings it back to feeding off of the ones who are strong believers who do go to church all the time.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like extra spice on it or something.
Yeah, I think they could possibly see it as a game, like, oh, let's see if we can make this good guy
It's a
go
challenge.
bad.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, that because how many times where someone who doesn't like drink or smoke weed or something like that, and they're like, and you see the people who do, they're like, oh, do you want to try it? Do you want to do it? And they get all excited, like, yeah, let's pop this person's alcohol cherry. Let's get them drunk for the first time.
Because that's
Let's get
the
'em
thing.
high.
It's not necessarily that those things are bad, but without balance, anything can kill you.
Yeah.
And that's why they're like overindulgence, or
It's
even
that
the spirit
control.
of temperance.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure even the holiest of people get mad. I'm sure the Pope gets mad.
Oh, hell
But
yeah.
he just has to have that control.
Well, yeah, we all have that ability, and we should. Why not? Like, we can't just box up that anger, but we got to use it constructively. And what I found, and what even came out in the cards, is like you got to use it constructively. So what I do is just I write it into the stories.
Yeah.
And use it in different situations, because we all have them. Father figures or just clashing relationships.
Yeah.
So use it in a positive way.
Yeah, I think that's pretty damn good advice.
Yeah.
I even thought too, to make up my own ceremony, what if I wrote a story about this little like demon leech?
Yeah.
And then I would just write that, not for anybody else but me.
Yeah.
And then at a certain point, don't save it anywhere. Take the paper, like focus on it and destroying it, trapping it within the story, and burning it.
Yeah.
And like no one else has to see it, because that's like the sacrifice. I would love to give the story out, and I could probably make money off it.
But then again, what if you're just spreading that
Exactly.
leech to other people
That,
once
or-
they read it?
Depending on how the story ended, you could actually depower it by showing others beating it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I like to
that's
write
true.
horror. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
But do you think a demonic presence can be shared via writing or audio or anything like that?
Actually, I'm worried about that.
Yeah, I believe so. Well, it's like it goes on the same connotation of what we spoke for our last episode on cursed objects. So And like, well, also what I mentioned also before, dolls are just a hollow vessel, and especially the fact that demons are pretty much negative, malevolent spirits. They're like, oh, cool, I'm gonna chill in this fucking doll right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick it here for a bit.
Or like Annabelle.
Yeah.
So it was a demon entrapped in a hollow vessel, which was a Raggedy Ann doll, and just chilled.
Just hanging out until it got its opportunity to cause chaos.
Yeah,
Oh,
what's
yeah.
scary in the Judaism, what they believe in the demonics, they're omnipresent.
Oh yeah.
So they know everything, which is very scary thought.
Oh,
You know,
well, that's
yeah.
what my
Digging
thing-
into your deepest fears and
Whoa.
like, things that anger you.
But I like to believe you could protect yourself and actually have
Yeah.
like psychic blocks for those kind
Oh,
of things.
well,
right?
the thing
But
is like,
it just takes training. I
oh,
believe.
it's like for like, especially for demons, it's like get the hell.
My phone. Yeah.
But for like demons, or like every demon has like, in a sense, like special powers or special properties, what they can do.
Depending on like their force.
Yeah, their force. So even some demons have like the ability of premonitions.
Yeah.
So they can tell you, hey, this is gonna fucking happen to you, blah 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 blah. Because if you come side with me, I can fucking protect you. And-
Actually, yeah, I just
Yeah.
read like, you watch American Horror Story with the witches?
yeah.
Yeah.
Baba
Oh, the
Legba?
coven? Yeah.
Try
I
to
was
move
at
your
your-
mic a little bit closer to me.
Yeah.
Like right there.
There.
Yeah.
All that better.
Perfect. Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool.
With Baba Legba, he's actually a good guy, really good guy. He's like the gatekeeper in a sense, just like Anubis we were talking about earlier. But like in most practices and ceremonies within the voodoo, you have to bring him into the ceremony at first to like pretty much get permission to breach the veil.
Yeah.
And he's not a bad guy or a good guy, but he's just there. And I think a
He's
lot
just
of
a
these
keeper.
things get like just like within Hollywood, they get demonized to be other demons that have same kind of properties.
Yeah. They it's pretty much being what's the word? Categorized like wrongly, I guess.
Demonized.
Yeah, it's like it's like being in the street with your head shaved, being brown skinned, walking down the street. and you have-
Profiled.
being profiled.
Exactly.
There you
Well,
go.
that's the thing, and too.
being,
And once you
being thrown into a category where you're like, dude, just because I look this way or say certain things doesn't mean I am one of those things.
Which has happened
which
to me
eventually,
before.
if it happens enough, they'll get pissed off and be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna go do it. They're
Well, like-
saying I'm this anyway. Might as well
disrespecting
do it.
in
Yeah.
a sense. But like think about that, like it's something that kind of came in with monotheism, where it turned in it's either black or white, good or evil. Where is that anywhere in nature? It's all infinite shades of gray. No one's the same, and no one's all good, and no one's all bad. And the spirits, I believe, are just the same. There's some with good like aspects, and then there's some with bad, and there's some with mixed. The deer woman, we were just talking about that before.
She's
Same kind of
mixed.
thing. Little good, little bit bad.
Yeah, it just depends on
But if you
how she feels at the moment.
Yeah.
and think about when you work like working with Ouija boards and stuff like that, and you're so scared of these things that Hollywood projected into your mind as demons,
it's only
rather than
demonic.
forces, then you're gonna see it that way to your subconscious. You're gonna see something scary.
And I think the spirit world feeds off of that.
Oh yeah, I definitely.
Well,
agree
certain
with
things,
that.
and I think
Yeah.
that's what they manipulate. But what you were saying earlier, like naming things, or like the movie The Conjuring 2, they didn't name any real demon, but they did make up one,
Yeah.
Valak.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So now people are afraid of it. And like, could that give it force to actually, like, what if some other thing that has the same qualities as this character Valak, that entity that has that force,
Yeah,
what
take-
would to stop him to take it and start
that
using
name
that
and-
as a
Making it
energy
grow,
builder?
making
Yeah.
it grow power.
Why the fuck not?
Getting it
Yeah,
stronger.
next time
and stuff.
someone sees that demon that would relate to it, they'll probably see that character.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's,
it's like
that's true. It's like the Slender Man.
yeah.
Yeah, in a way.
How,
What
how
if, yeah.
everyone knows it was made as a fictional character online, as a meme, as to like just mess with people.
Yeah.
But then now all of a sudden there's those, I think, one or two girls who killed people in the name of Slender Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Doing
read
all
that
that
article.
stuff.
They took a girl out from their class, took her to the woods, and ended up stabbing her like 7 to 17 times.
Damn.
And luckily, I think she survived barely.
But yeah, as a sacrifice.
But
to
they
the Slender Man.
but then again, they added so much random things to the stories that was never actually put out there.
Yeah.
Like he had a castle and like all this other stuff, and
Yeah.
Like they projected onto it.
It's like the game telephone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, where they're hearing one thing and they tell somebody else, but they keep mentioning other things,
We
creating their
believe what
own
we want
ideas.
to.
Yeah. I think it's also the fact that they're misinterpreting the story of what it is, and sometimes people who are just either lonely or out there just need to find something
To connect.
to give them to do or try to connect with other people, and sometimes it's just all bad. And there's a moth in here. Oh.
God damn it, Mothra.
It's Mothra.
Matra.
But it's like, but on the whole, like the whole negative connotation on stuff was like the Ouija board bullshit, like how Hollywood projected is like, oh, in any media source, from anything from comics, video games, we all know that Ouija boards are like fucking evil type of deal thing. Me, I know Ouija boards are. It all depends for me. On my aspect, my issue. The reason why I won't fuck with touch one is that same possibility of like the demonic spirit that took host on Annabelle.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm friendly. Yeah. Oh,
Or
cool.
the kid from The Exorcist.
Yeah.
The
It's like-
original.
Because that's what they do. They try to trick you. They try
Yeah.
to find something super innocent. As most time it's a child.
Like I said, fuck kids.
Yeah. No, don't fuck kids.
But
They try to find an innocent child, something that you would probably be like, oh, it's friendly. Let's
it's
invite him
easier
in.
to manipulate
Yeah.
a child.
Well,
or
like
yeah.
I keep saying, like if you're saying the child in a spirit form or anything, even in the horror movie aspect genre, I don't like children because on that aspect because their children are a display of innocence, and that's why
And hope.
Yeah.
And even in real life, when children see the paranormal aspect of like spirits and whatnot, and they don't understand, like I bet you when we were younger, within that category of age group, we saw it and we didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're full of innocence, like, oh, okay, cool, whatever.
Do you think that's where a lot of times where some kids have imaginary friends? Do you ever think that possibly
Yes.
they're real
No,
spirits that
honestly.
they can only see, and then the parents are like, oh no, they're just
Well, like
they're
last
friends.
week.
But
Yeah.
yet, because there's some kids who are so 100% like, God, I can't even think today.
Dedicated to the cause,
Yeah,
pretty much.
they're 100% sure that they're a real person.
Oh yeah.
They
Well,
talk
it's
to them.
like-
They have conversations with the parents. They're like, he's just talking to.
Well, it's like
imaginary friend."
fucking the guy who had, who was the original owner of Robert the Doll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that.
No, it's like that same concept. It's like literally like
It sounded like he had an imaginary friend, and
Yeah.
they thought they kept pushing it off as just his imagination until they started being affected by it.
oh yeah, it's like
I think it's when you try to separate the person from their imaginary friend, so-called imaginary friend, is that's when it gets angry.
yeah,
But that could be a way in where they slowly start to put down their guard.
yeah.
And once you give up willingly, like just like Annabelle, once they willingly gave it permission to take the doll, it was just another way to get in themselves. So it's just empowerment.
Yeah.
And if you can change and corrupt it, that's what's scary about it, because as kids, you probably have a natural ability to astral project and just more vivid imagination.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it was like when I was when I used to live in Washington, like my neighbor, because my neighbor, she was complaining saying that my kids were being too loud and whatnot, and we're like, dude, it's like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
They're asleep. The hell are you talking about? I was like, oh, I can hear them yelling and whatnot through the concrete wall, and because both houses are like literally together, and where her kid's room and my kid's room, literally center blocks.
Yeah.
So it's like, the hell? So, and then she came one night like freaked out. I'm like, the hell's wrong with you? She's like, oh no, something's around my house, blah blah blah. He's like, you know what, fine, whatever. Got sage. I'm like, I'm just gonna do this for you. I don't really like you, but fuck it, I'm gonna help you out. So and her daughter was up, and I was like, you know what, put your kid up to the room, lay in the bed. And she's like, no, I'm gonna just fucking do it. I was like, I want to know what's going on. So while I'm doing the whole thing, she wanted to go put her up. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna chill. She's like, okay. So me and her, we were chilling and got her kid, and her kid was like knocked out. And I'm gonna say maybe like a good hour and a half passed by. Kid woke up.
Yeah.
And kid didn't really pay attention to us at all. So the kid just got up and went like this in the crib. And the crib is pretty much like here, and then the closet door maybe good 5-10 feet away from the crib. And so she's like pointing like this, like pick me up, doing the hand gesture like most babies do, like that. I was like, the fuck? And I was like, all right, cool. And then all of a sudden, and she's starting to get freaked. I'm like, no, stop. Just let's see what's happened. And all of a sudden, you see the closet door just open.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit. I was like, get the fuck out of this house. You don't belong here. And all of a sudden, I'm like,
Door closes.
Door closes. I'm like, get the fucking kid out. Let's go. And she's like, well, nope. Nope. We're getting out. I'm fucking blessing this fucking room. Yep.
Yeah. That's,
Where's the sage?
Right?
where is it? Where is it?
Well, God damn it, where is it?
This is like reminds me of the Exorcist stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, well, like, I wanted to tell a story about that because what you were saying, it seems to be things that go after people with faith, you know, and the demon from The Exorcist, the white-faced demon that you see flash, and it's also in the Passion of the Christ, that white demon you see in the background. That is the demon, like I learned this from my cousin, that goes after people that are on the right path.
Yeah.
And they're doing too well, and they're there to scare them off the path. So supposedly my cousin was dating this girl, and her father died of a freak accident on like a construction site, just like fell off a building.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, Jesus. No one can explain why it happened, like no note, so it wasn't suicide or anything like that.
It's Mothra.
But after this, the family has been like haunted by this demon. First time she saw it, my cousin was waiting in her room. She was taking a shower, washing your hair. The worst fucking thing you can imagine. Yeah. We've all been there.
Yeah.
Where you're afraid you're gonna open up your eyes and see something. Well, guess what she saw? Fucking
that motherfucker
clears her eyes and he's right there. Fucking she jumps out of the shower, butt naked, runs to him, my cousin, and like tells him. They go into his car because she wants to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Turn on the car and the radio starts talking to him.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah.
No.
Like, I'm not too sure what it was saying, but like they just start going back and forth. And luckily, my cousin's dad, my Nino, knows the Bible very well, so he knew the prayers to go ahead and get rid of it. And he's actually seen it a few times himself. Like one time, my aunt, they were just in the room in the house, and like he just tackles my aunt, just tackles her down. She's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "It was standing right behind you." Like,
fuck
what
that.
the hell?
And he said one time he was in church too, and it was around the same time that like he felt like as he was in church trying to pray and do his thing, felt like hands come up above the seat behind him and like grab him right here. So
See,
do you think their fear is also feeding it though?
I think it tries.
I think
rather
so.
than fearing it, and that's why I think my uncle tackled my aunt rather than being like, "Don't move," because he's protecting it. Sure, there was fear there because he tried to use his his wife as a shield, but he was pretty much he was trying to get her, so he was trying to use that to make him afraid, rather because fuck that, come after me. Yeah. But going after my wife, that's what it's trying to do.
What if he would actually, at that point, instead of tackling her, what if he just started doing like a prayer against it?
Well, that's what he did, once he tackled her, but he had that moment of fear for her.
Of like, I gotta protect my wife.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, is that, and I think that also that connotation that people have, it's like, I'm in church. This is a holy place. Fuck that. Yeah, demons have no bounds.
Yeah, because church is like, or the spirit of God is within you. You're well, what's the thing? Your body is a temple.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you don't have that connection or that guard, I don't think the premises is gonna stop these things.
Well, I don't think
but you can.
Yeah, personally you can, but a church is for our listeners who are religious and whatnot, if I offend, don't care. I really don't.
Well, yeah.
It's the same aspect. It's like, I understand this is the Lord's house, blah blah blah, but
it depends on the faith.
It depends on the faith, but either way, it's a fucking door.
Yeah.
And it's like, it doesn't mean they have to open it. It's a door. They can go through it. They can be one raunchy ass motherfucker lady or dude, or like, oh, I'm going to church, I'm be fine, but they're just fucked up. There you go. There's their entrance. So, or even either a priest or a pastor or whoever's leading that church think they're doing right, and then they're just doing just as fucked up shit.
We've
I'm
seen
sure,
that all over the country.
Exactly.
Well,
So,
I think it was especially like more prevalent in the olden days, like where the Vatican was really corrupt.
Yeah, wait, it was?
No. I mean, like more than what it is now. Because now they've actually set some sort of rules and all that stuff. But back in the day, there's like popes who would kill other people, or bishops to kill other people to try to become pope and take more control and do all this stuff. Like it's. Do you think some kind of demonic forces could have had a toll in that, like a hand in that?
Oh, well,
probably.
It's a manipulation of it. I think anywhere you see religion go towards the selfish manner, or things don't line up, or like they say you can kill someone in the name of God or anything like that.
That's where the angel
where,
and the devil
exactly,
pop up.
and that's where the text gets mixed up.
Yeah, and the good prime example of it is the fucking Crusades.
Exactly, but
And
what
then-
did God give us the ability to do? What did Jesus say? Know people by getting to know them, by studying, by researching, looking into something, rather than just taking it for what it is.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
that one saying too: keep your friends close, but your
enemies closer.
Well,
you get to really get to know them, so it's
know how to recognize that.
But like I said, like the Crusades is like one good prime example. I forgot what movie. Or Orlando Bloom, I forgot the name of it. But they even said it's like, in the name of God, we're gonna do this. Or like they were talking about, oh, should we go attack this? And then all of a sudden, the fucking priest is like, God willed it, and they're like, yeah, fuck it, fucking God willed it. And I'm like, let's go. It's like,
but then just like that other saying, like evil only truly prevails when good men do nothing.
Exactly.
So you can't just pass the buck over to God. Well, if it happened, it's okay.
Yeah, you got to put an effort into,
because God gave us the ability to put a stop to it.
And then what's another good prime example of like manipulation like that? The massacre of the Knights of the Templar.
A couple months ago, the radicalist Christian who shot up the black church.
Oh yeah.
Right there. There's prime little examples everywhere, and that guy thinks he's doing God a favor. That, in myself, is evil.
It's weird because God doesn't want anyone to die in any religion.
Well, people die, but it's a choice to take a life.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. In every religion, which is based around pretty much the same gods, I know people are going to give me a lot of flack for that, but
well, do your research and you'll see a lot of coincidence.
Because the basic principle of most religions is live a good life, make right choices, don't hurt other people,
be better,
be happy,
and help.
That's the premise of all religions. And when there's good, there's always going to be the opposite, which is the bad, which is going to try to convert the good. Just like the good, just like the good who try to convert the bad.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It's an equal balance of it, and now.
But that's why people have to
bizarre.
Involve themselves any chance they can, because when you do nothing, then that balance goes off scales. Because what does evil do? Evil looks out for itself, so they're always going to be acting because they're only doing it for themselves.
And from what I've read and all this stuff, Lucifer himself was a very, very manipulating person, and he was very for himself. Like,
but that depends on that's on the Christian side of it. But whereas like Sumerian and where the devil entity kind of evolved from through the mythology, the devil in Sumerian stories or Enki warned people about the flood. Like pretty much Noah was warned by Satan in those original stories.
Yeah.
So it's kind of changed as you go on, and it really depends, because I don't know if I so much believe in a Satan like that, like it's one person. Whereas I think it's the force of temptation, where the devil's in all of us when you give into things like that.
Kind of like God. Like God could be just another force of positivity.
Yeah.
So we're like the same. Going back to the whole yin and yang type of thing.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like even if we're on the biblical aspect, you gotta remember when Lucifer fell, he took 200 other fucking angels with him.
Yeah.
So, and if on a biblical aspect on demons, not only just Lucifer himself is the devil, Satan, pretty much the hierarchy of all demons. You also gotta remember, there's 200 other fucking demons.
And there's generals.
Generals. And which those angels ends up becoming...
And how, because Aaron was telling me this earlier, that there are, like, human spirits will die, and they can become angels. So how many human spirits that die can become demons?
Prime example.
Which that's why they have the archangels and...
Well, just like you were saying before with the word daemon, it's not so much demons, but spirits in themselves. There's good spirits, and there's bad spirits.
So that's... Do you think, like, one of the rites of passage, I guess, to become a demon is doing, like, poltergeist, like negative poltergeist activity?
I don't know. I would imagine,
because sometimes it is pretty malevolent, you know.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
They're getting a kick off of just messing with people.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Is like, which I didn't get the chance to finish, like watching it and getting the full blown backstory of it. But it's like for people like, okay, some people die and become either an angel, and there's some people that die they fucking become a demon, right? It's like the most prime example, which we finished talking about. I was telling you guys earlier. Is that stupid fucking challenge that people were doing, the Charlie challenge. So pretty much there's the actual backstory of it. It's an actual fucking demon summoning fucking thing to do. Not only that, it was a fucking little kid who commits suicide, and his goal, he wanted to become a fucking demon.
Yeah.
so all they're doing is really helping him make that goal.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, the fuck? It's
like why provoke it even more?
Exactly.
Why poke the bear?
So it's like,
because that's the thing, when you don't believe in the devil, you have
I think that's
fear.
what he likes, because it also adds a little cloak to him.
Oh
exactly.
yeah, it does.
That's what I'm saying. Why?
Like,
what's the loss or what's the fear? What's the worst?
I've heard about something like that where he's like, no, don't let them believe. It's fine.
Yeah.
Because then they're just gonna keep messing with it more, and they're gonna open that door.
Yeah, but that's like one way to look at it, and like a lot of people fear the things that I do because of that, rather than focusing on, well, because I believe, if there's 50% of these things that are evil trying to get to you, then that means the other 50% is trying to help you.
Yeah.
So I got a team of angels and positive aspects that back me up, including God, who gave us the ability and made these things to back us up. Whereas if you come after me, fuck it, I got a team and they're ready. And this just helps,
Yeah. Exactly. Got a little starter pack for me.
There you go.
That's the first step right there, because you believe in it more because he made it for you. A lot of people don't believe in themselves, but they believe in people a lot more than that.
I think, and that's also makes it so easier. Like, I know, granted, demons prefer a challenge. What if one day I say, fuck it, I don't want no challenge. This guy doesn't believe.
Yeah.
He's mine for the taking. So, and like on, like for, like through exorcisms, freaking, in order to get rid of the demon, you gotta get his true name.
Yeah. But the thing is, I heard that there's a long process too in the churches where they have to get approval,
especially for the Vatican,
approval from higher ups. They have to have enough proof to be like, okay, well, this person is possessed. Let's send someone down, an expert in exorcisms.
My thing on that aspect, especially for the Vatican, is there's so many fucking steps for the Vatican itself. Yeah. But by the time when it gets approved, sometimes it's already too late. Yeah. Like, either the person's dead.
And what's messed up about that is it's really just so the church keeps its name clean.
Yeah.
They don't want to be associated with like giving a crazy person an exorcism.
Because how many times has that happened?
Exactly, and that's why they have the protocols now.
But also you gotta understand, there's been plenty of people that have died during a fucking exorcism.
Oh yeah.
Well, Mike, can you look up?
But that's the thing. You're not trying to save the human body. You're trying to save the soul.
The mass possessions in Chile. I think it was.
Oh yes, I remember. Yeah, hold on.
Have you heard about that, Aaron? Mm-mm. Yeah, there's like a mass amount of possessions in Chile. Yeah, like supposedly they're.
I'm
he's gonna look it up right now. No, Chile.
Oh,
and Peru.
Yeah, Chile and Peru. It was Peru. I think it was Peru. But yeah, there's just mass possessions.
Pretty much. Here we go. May 18th. It's like super recent. This article's recent. Keep
is like a phenomenon that there's so many people claiming to be possessed, and they are acting crazy, like speaking in different tongues and all this stuff.
So I'm just gonna go through it. So almost 100 school children are thought to have been possessed by the devil and seeing visions of a man black trying to kill them, in what been described as a mass case of demonic possession. The pupils in Peru are experiencing seizures alongside their horrifying hallucinations. Experts have struggled to explain the strange ongoings which also include widespread convulsions and fainting at the school reported built on a mafia graveyard. According to local reporters, as many as 80 students at the Elizabeth Flores School in northern Peru's Tarapoto have been experiencing the supposedly contagious conditions since last month. Children between the age 11 and 14 are reported fainting and having strong muscular convulsions. Shocking video footage shows people who are barely conscious repeating screaming and who appeared to be delirious. Dr. Anthony Choi told national television Pan America TV, we don't understand how this has kept on going on. We know it started on the 29th of April and now it is still happening. Now there are almost 80 people still affected. It just goes on. So
See, that's what's scary.
Does that have a date on it?
This article was published on May 18th of 2016, so it was pretty much recent.
Yeah,
That's what's scary though, because look at what just happened in like Michigan with the lead in the water. You know, there could, like, in the logical sense, there could be something wrong with the water, something that's affecting these younger kids. You know, and just
Makes
that way,
sense.
you know, in that aspect. But it's a scary thought to think that could be possible as well, that these kids are just being taken.
Well, it's like
because like we were saying earlier too, they try to go for the innocence.
Yeah, exactly. And have you heard of like the Indigo Children?
No.
what is that?
The Indigo Children is essentially like in the new generations, in the sense of the time and spirituality, they believe that there's like since the 70s, I believe, is when it started, and there's a whole study behind it, that they can manifest their reality, kind of the stuff like I believe in, and like anything in that where they have more power and they're more in tune with things. And we would be on we're the generation after that. So there's the Rainbow Children, there's the Diamond Children. So what if this is a new generation of kids that, I don't know, are being targeted?
Yeah,
Could be.
I don't know. We need to send some exorcist priest down there.
Right?
It's bizarre.
Well, we can all give a helping hand, I believe, by just focusing on that and sending some positive light.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's like on like say it was like a barrier ground for a massacre for mafia where they kill people. It's like the same fucking
So
thing.
maybe it's not just demonic possession. Maybe it's just negative
Spirits.
spirits just manipulating these kids and just trying to affect them.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah,
they don't
well-
know they're dead. Maybe they're just angry that they died in the first
Yeah.
place.
Yeah. Oh, it's like the whole
Because
fucking.
how many people in the mafias, any kind of mafias, actually got killed for something small?
Oh, exactly.
A
For
lot.
any little thing, they just got killed.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like fucking like people messing with Indian burial grounds. It's
Yeah,
like.
you
It's
don't
like
do
if you
that.
cruise on through there, oh, it's fine and dandy. But as soon as you start fucking with shit, it's like
Don't pick
bad.
anything up, don't take anything, just nothing, just leave everything where it is.
Because you don't know what was put there for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're given these for a purpose. What happens when someone tries to use it for the bad thing? You know,
Yeah.
I'm sure that's gonna piss who backs this up.
Yeah,
off.
it's
Yeah.
like, dude, fuck you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are you trying to do?
No,
Not in my
Because
house.
who knows if we keep this when we get old, we still have it, we die. Somebody takes it, starts messing with it. Are we gonna get super fucking pissed off?
Oh, I.
Or we're like, dude, like, what
We're
do you,
not
like-
those type of entities. Like, and plus, are we sticking around after the fact? No.
well,
You
but
don't-
the
you
thing
don't
is,
know
though,
that, though.
yeah,
Well,
but
that's if you like. I don't know. I
Yeah,
believe
we
it's
don't know.
a choice if you want to go to the light
Maybe.
or not. There's always that light or within the
Yeah.
mythology, but we don't know anything.
come
It's
to
a-
the dark side.
I pulled up the actual exorcism of Roland Doe, which is the actual boy who got possessed, which became the story of the exorcism or the Exorcist,
yeah,
and it's pretty
intense.
crazy, dude. Yeah, like in the late 1940s in the United States, priests of the Roman Catholic Church performed a series of exorcisms on an anonymous boy documented under the pseudonym Roland Doe or Robbie Mannheim. The 14-year-old boy, born in circa 1935, was the alleged victim of the demonic possession, and the events were recorded by the attending priest Raymond Bishop. Subsequent supernatural claims surrounding the events were used as elements along with the London possessions in the 1971 novel The Exorcist by William Peters. Yeah, so pretty much this is the kind of like the same story. I guess they took some similarities
Well,
or some
essentially,
events.
the writer read the story in the newspaper, and pretty much from that wrote the book.
Yeah. Which, do you think that's fair to the boy who who got possessed.
To be honest,
That's kind of that. Well,
that's a gray area to be.
yeah,
honest with
because
you.
he didn't name the boy. He didn't.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
he was respectful to the kid in the story and changed a lot of things for his own.
To
And
that
every
to that
story is based on
family
life.
though, who most likely saw the film or heard about it, and for them to have to watch it and kind of relive it, even though I'm sure it wasn't exactly how it was in the movie.
That's why I said it's a gray area.
Yeah.
It's like very gray. It's like. Should you get
Yeah, but I
mad
can't
or-
imagine what you mean. You know, being that kid growing up and then seeing commercials like that.
Yeah.
You know, and just kind of I don't know if they
And
remember.
you being that person walking down the street,
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh man, when that happened or this happened," the kid's just that person just reliving those moments.
Oh yeah,
There's got to be something out there that
Because from 1940 to 1970, what 1, 2,
Yeah. Well,
all
it
that
was
stuff happening.
I bet
Huge hit.
I bet that the kid growing up and whatnot, did he suffer some serious PTSD on that aspect?
Well, obviously.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because it would have been. It was 30 years after the fact,
yeah.
so he's a grown man at this point, and probably still suffering some form
or
of
maybe even
PTSD or
repressed
something.
it.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
like And like, have you seen the documentary for the Amityville Horror where it shows the younger brother that was in it?
yeah.
And like what he had to go through and deal with.
Oh, yeah.
And it was really like a horrible
rough.
story, and
Which-
it's
yeah,
like
'cause-
people don't take
because-
him serious.
Yeah, because one, he's talking about how he experienced things, but then he's also hearing other people calling his family liars and mom and dad all
Exactly.
this, and like you guys didn't
Just
see
calling
what
them
we saw.
showboating
Yeah.
assholes, and like
Yeah.
oh, they just want attention or just anything like that. It's just so disrespectful, or because we don't know their story.
Yeah.
And shame on the people that use stories like that to trick people into things like that.
Yeah, because you're putting a bad name onto the
Exactly.
people who really experience things, and that's another reason why a lot of people don't like to express their or share their stories,
and
because
end
they're
up
going
left
to be
without
called
help.
They're going to be called, "Oh no, you're a liar. You just want attention. You're blah blah blah," and then they're like, "Why am I even going to tell people? It's pointless."
And that's why we have our show.
Yeah.
So, but which the house is up for sale again.
Is it?
Yeah,
Wait, what?
Are you going to put a bid on it?
I'm down.
What are you talking
I
about?
won't stay there, but I'm down.
The Amityville Horror House.
Oh yeah,
It's up for sale.
I'm down.
I want to go there, but I don't know.
That
about
one house I
fucking-
want to check out. It's the one that your wife told us about.
I
know-
haven't got a reply back from a realtor.
But yeah, it's sold. Somebody has it.
Yeah.
So we need to find out who that person is.
Yes.
Because there's pretty much a house in up in the hills in LA somewhere, where
It's creepy as fuck.
where this doctor, well-known doctor and all this stuff, he ended up killing his wife and kids,
Pretty
and I
much
think
the
one
whole-
or two kids got
survived,
Yeah,
and-
survived, and it was what late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah, give it a take.
Yeah, it's like 68, 69, somewhere.
Just
around
I guess for like a good while, like the house just left on its own. Like you can still see the Christmas tree up,
there.
presents.
all the stuff was still there. Like
Oh, wow.
paper,
So just-
all this was there, just
Yeah.
abandoned. People would buy it and then immediately sell it.
Yeah.
Not even move the stuff.
Yeah, like I think
I don't know.
one person bought it and he kept the house just kind of like as a storage house. So even then, after he left, a lot of his stuff was still there, or that person's stuff was still there.
Like I even
Oh,
see.
so he just
Yeah,
left
they
it.
just left. Yeah,
But now the recent pictures I've seen of it of the house, it's empty.
yeah,
A lot of fucking windows. And when me and Jose were talking about it, dude, I was going through these pictures, dude. Dude, you can tell like it's a dark like something in that house is just dark.
yeah.
Because
Because there's a bunch of windows everywhere, right? But yeah, in certain corners and
It's
stuff,
like
it's just ridiculously dark. Like
like
dark,
the
dark,
darkness is just collecting there.
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
Like those
weird.
little portals are just like a little
Pretty much.
cloud of
Yeah.
blackness.
Well, they say also that because I just totally thought back to the thing in Peru with the possession stuff where you're talking about the water. But if that place was close to like a river or something like that, they say that that all the running water gives so much energy off that they can
Manifest.
travel through with that energy.
But then I also heard that there's mythology that say that demonic forces cannot pass through running water, like flowing rivers and stuff like that. They can't go across it.
Yeah, but can they travel with it?
I never heard anything like that. I've always heard is that's like with water, it's more divine and connected to the feminine aspect.
Yeah.
So it does like if there's water running, then if you have like a stream of water running around you, you're protected. Like there's no way they can get
So
across.
we're making a moat.
Yeah, pretty much. Who's saying maybe that's one of the reasons why they made them back in the day, or one of them.
Well, either way, it was a form of protection. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of kings did have oracles and things like that, and they were very superstitious. So.
But how bizarre is it that even back in the day, before all this crazy technology and all this stuff, that people still had like those oracles or shamans and stuff to protect oneself against evil spirits. So evil spirits have been around for eons.
Oh yeah,
eons and eons, and there's always been stories of people being possessed or controlled by some evil spirit. Maybe they didn't know it was a demon back then, but it could have still have been that, just that with a different name or something.
Yeah, and then it does like depend on how you look at what a demon is. Is it just a dark spirit, or is it? Yeah, it's like what is a demon in a sense, because we don't really know. Like there's some stories that say Lilith, the first woman made for Adam, was the first demon. So that implies that demons were born once we were.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Or there's the idea that spirits, when they sleep with a human being, that in turns brings out a demon. But we heard of stories that we were talking about earlier, like demigods of Hercules, and where maybe in the sense since it's a spiritual and a physical being, sometimes a physical being is created, sometimes a spiritual being is created.
Yeah.
I think maybe some of the human ones were the good demigods like Hercules and the stories we've heard like that. And maybe when it's more spiritual, they come out as darker things that wanted life. Or who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. It's, I don't know. It's there. But
it's weird. It's...
We're at...
What?
Oh, 56 minutes.
I think we're good to go. Yeah. Next week we'll be talking about more on the lighter side.
Yeah, we'll talk about the lighter
of all
side,
this, and maybe even the comparisons, because we've read into where angels and demons could be the same force, but we look at them in a different way. So we'll be discussing different cultures' views on those angels.
Yeah. So just stay tuned, and if you guys have any stories or heard of anybody talking about any kind of possessions or demonic entities happening, or if you see like dark figures anywhere, any kind of story, just let us know.
Yeah, or if you encounter yourself as well.
Guardian angel stories. Did you ever have someone tell you like, hey, just stalled you out a couple moments, and then you found out you could have been in an accident? Little moments like that where you don't know if they were real or not, but you felt like it was a guardian angel. Let us know those stories as well.
Oh, so like before we fucking finish this up, what's the craziest thing I heard about angels? Like the whole divot that we have right here on our lip, right here, is apparently the angel will come over and go shh, and pretty much like hush
indented
and hush you, because for you not to reveal all the secrets in heaven.
Whoops.
Oops.
All right, with that being said, I'm Jose.
I'm Mike.
Acidic Aaron.
And we are your Hunt for the Paranormal host, and we'll be back next week.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Yep.
Yeah, and what's the number, Aaron, that they can call in?
We haven't memorized it. We're so fucking bad.
Yeah, we'll have it. We'll need to just
714 684 1652. Again, the number is 714-684-1652.
Awesome.
Yeah. So just leave us any messages, guys.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Yeah, take it easy, guys.